Hello, my little yarnivores and spiderettes. Fiber Spider back again with another tutorial just for you. And today I'm going to show you a really beautiful lacy knit stitch. I love it so. This is a lacy diamond garter stitch, and this is a lot easier than it looks, believe it or not, because even though it is a 12-row repeat, you're only doing 6 rows, believe it or not, because every other row, every even row, is just all knit stitches, because this is garter. And if you look at the back, it is the same. Yes, which is a beautiful thing because this will not curl, which I love, as opposed to the stockinette stitch, which really does curl. And also, it has its own sort of built-in border. Absolutely love that. And so for this piece, I used, this was Red Heart Super Saver in I think it was a light sage, and I used size 10 6mm knitting needles. Now you could use straight knitting needles. For the sake of this tutorial, I'm using my circulars. Makes it a little bit easier for me. And you can use, obviously, whatever works best for you. The only thing that I would really suggest is using a solid color or a very slow color gradient change, because if you're using a quick change color of a variegated yarn, this beautiful lacy diamond pattern is going to be lost. And you're going to put in the work. Well, you want to see the results, don't you? So, that being said, what you're going to need to do is cast on a multiple of 8 stitches plus an additional 5 stitches. And I'm going to actually be working off of this piece. Now, I'm going to put in the description box down below how to cast on and how to do the knit stitch, because I'm not going to show the knit rows because that seems a little redundant, but I'll put it in the description box down below, and we will get started. Now, for this particular piece, I cast on a total of 37 stitches, which is a nice wide piece, and it'll give you an opportunity to see the repeats all Jim dandy. And so 37 stitches, that's 8 times 4 is 32, okay? And then plus an additional 5, you get 37. Alrighty. And so, you can do however many multiples of 8 as you want, plus your additional 5. You can make this a blanket, a throw, a scarf, a wrap, what have you. Possibilities are endless, and it's totally up to you. I would suggest, however, perhaps doing a more narrow piece so that, if it's something that you really like, well, then you can always start over, make it bigger. It is quite a bit of an investment of time because it is a complex pattern, but I'm going to try to make it as easy as possible for you. So cast on your multiple of 8 plus an additional 5, and then we will get started with row 1. Alrighty. Row 1. Okay, so I hope you have all of your stitches cast on. So to start row 1, we're going to start by knitting the first 4 stitches, and then we'll get into the repeat. So just going to knit these first 4. And 2. And 3. And 4. All right. Then to start the repeat, what we need to do is knit 2 together, yarn over, knit 1, yarn over, knit 2 together, and then knit 3. And that's the repeat. And, I'm going to go through this with you, not going to rush. So first thing, after we knit our first 4 stitches, we need to knit 2 together. Can be a little bit tricky if you are a tight stitcher, which I am, as luck would have it. So we're going to knit those 2 together. Then yarn over, knit 1, yarn over again, knit 2 together, there we go, and then knit 3. So it's 1, 2, and 3. All right, so that is 1 full repeat. So going to do the repeat yet again. So that is starting off with the knit 2 together. Sometimes it helps if you sort of prime your stitches first, get them a little bit loose, and then go in for the kill. All right, so knit 2 together, yarn over, excuse me, knit 1, yarn over again, knit 2 together, and then knit 3. 1, 2, and 3. All right. Do the repeat again. Knit 2 together. Yarn over. Knit 1. Yarn over. Knit 2 together. And knit 3. Alrighty. Okay, so then again, knit 2 together. Come on. There we go. So knitting 2 together, yarn over, knit 1, yarn over, knit 2 together, knit 3. Now it may seem like you're off, but you're not off because we started by knitting 4. Well, technically that's what we're doing at the end. The end of the repeat is knitting 3, and then we just knit the last one. So that's 2 and 3, and then we just knit the last stitch. Alrighty, so then you would turn your work, and for, I love this thing, for row 2, just knit all of your stitches all the way across, and then we will continue on with knit 3, row 3, excuse me, and for the continuation of the pattern. Alrighty. Okay, row 3. Now also, I would suggest at the end of every row in which you're working, the actual pattern, I would suggest at the end of each row to actually do a stitch count, because you're knitting stitches together, you're doing yarn overs, you're increasing, you're decreasing, and so on and so forth. So I would suggest it might be advisable to do a count just in case. Also, it wouldn't hurt, because this is a complex pattern, to also perhaps use what is known as a lifeline. And you know what? I'm going to put a link to that in the description box down below as well. Just because, I really want to make this as easy as possible, because an intimidating pattern doesn't have to be intimidating if you know how to go about conquering it, okay? So, enough of my yammering. All right, so for row 3, the first 3 stitches we're going to knit. This is pre-repeat. Okay, so the first 3, just knit these. So 1 and 2 and 3. Now we get into the actual repeat. Okay, so for the actual repeat, the first 2 stitches we have to knit together. There we go. So knit 2 together, then yarn over, knit 3, one, 2, 3, yarn over, knit 2 together, there we go, and knit 1. And that is the repeat for row 3. And of course, we're going to do this for the rest of the row. All right, so starting with knitting 2 together, yarn over, knit 3, 1 and 2 and 3, yarn over, knit 2 together, and knit 1. So knitting the 2 together, and knit 1. All right. And again, knit 2 together, yarn over, knit 3, yarn over, knit 2 together, and knit 1. All right. Once again, knit 2 together, yarn over, knit 3, yarn over, knit 2 together, knit 1, and then the last 2 stitches we knit normally. Because we started with a knit 3, well, technically we're ending with a knit 3. So these last 2 stitches, just knit these, and that is the end of row 3. And then for row 4, just knit all of the stitches till you reach the other side, turn your work, and then we will continue on with row 5. Okay. And we shall continue right along. I'm just going to knit this row 4 off camera, and I'll be right back. All right, row 5. So for row 5, prior to the repeat, we are going to knit 2 and knit 2 together, and then we'll get into the repeat. So we will knit the first 2. Then knit 2 together. And there we go. All right. So now for the repeat, what we need to do is yarn over and knit 5. One, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Yarn over again. And okay, so here's where things are going to get a little bit different for this pattern repeat. So after yarning over, we then do a slip stitch. And for this particular pattern, I'm going to slip stitch knitwise. Some people, they do it purlwise. You know, it depends on what the pattern specifies. But I'm going to slip knitwise, like so. Just slip it right off knitwise. Okay. Then knit 2 together in the next 2 stitches. Here we go. And then that slip stitch right there, we're going to pass that over. So we're going to pass the slip stitch over that knit 2 together. It's abbreviated as a PSSO. All right, passo. All right, so we're going to grab onto that slip stitch and we're going to pass it over. Careful, grab onto that knit 2 together. And so you're going to pass that slip stitch over and drop it off. So that's your passo. All right, right there. And that is the repeat for row 5. So to continue right along, I'm going to start with a yarn over, then knit 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yarn over, and then slip a stitch knitwise, like so, knit 2 together, and then pass the slip stitch over. Like so. All right, so again, yarn over, knit the next 5, one, 2, 3, 4, 5, yarn over, slip the next stitch, knit 2 together, and pass the slip stitch over. All right, we're almost there. So again, yarn over, knit 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we've reached the last 4 stitches, so when you reach the last 4, you're going to finish off by yarning over, knit 2 together, and then knit 2. Knit 2 together, and then knit the last 2. Alrighty, we did it. All right, so now, here's my little handy dandy clicker. All right, so for row 6, just knit all of your stitches all the way across, and then I will meet back up with you for row 7. Okay, hope you guys are following along okay, and I'll meet back up with you for row 7. Alrighty, upwards and onwards to row 7. Alright, so for row 7, the preliminary to the repeat is a knitting of 3 stitches, and then we'll get into the repeat. So, first 3 stitches, 1, and 2, and 3. All right, so for the repeat for row 7, going to start by yarning over, knit 2 together, then knit 3, 1, 2, 3, knit 2 together again, yarn over, and knit 1. All right, so that's the full repeat. So to continue right along, going to yarn over, knit 2 together, knit 3, 1, 2, 3, knit 2 together, yarn over, and knit 1. Okay, do the repeat again. So that is yarn over, knit 2 together, knit 3, 1, 2, 3, knit 2 together, yarn over, and knit 1. Okay, again, yarn over, knit 2 together, knit 3, 1, 2, 3, knit 2 together, yarn over, knit 1, and we reach the last 2 stitches, which we are going to just knit. 1 and 2. Ta-da! All right, and so that is the end of row 7. And for row 8, as per usual, just knit all of your stitches all the way across, and then I will meet back up with you for row 9. Alrighty. Alrighty, row 9. Okay, so for row 9, the preliminary stitches will be knitting the first 4, and then we get into the repeat. So let's get to it. So knit the first 4, 1 and 2, 3, and 4. For the actual repeat, going to start by yarning over and knitting the next 2 together. There we go. And knit 1, knit 2 together, yarn over, and knit 3. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so to continue on with the repeat, going to yarn over, knit 2 together, knit 1, knit 2 together, yarn over, and knit 3. One and 2 and 3. Yep, okay. Then continuing right along with the repeat, we yarn over, knit 2 together, knit 1, knit 2 together, yarn over, and knit 3. 1, 2, and 3. Almost there. So again, starting with a yarning over, knit 2 together, knit 1, knit 2 together, yarning over, knit 3, and then when we reach the last one, we just knit the last one. Ta-da! All right, so as per usual, you would then turn your work for row 10, knit all of your stitches across, and then I will meet back up with you for row 11. Yes, 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 we are so very close. Just you and me together doing it. Yeah, we are. I'll meet back up with you for row 11. All right, last but not least, we've got row 11. And like I said, this is a 12-row repeat, but row 12, the next row, well, it's just knit, so we're pretty much there. We just have to get through row 11. So to start row 11, the preliminary stitches are going to be a knitting of 5. First 5 stitches, just knit these out of the way. 1 and 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, now this row is another one of those where we have those weird slip stitches and those passos. Okay, so to start the repeat, we need to begin with a yarning over, okay, then slip the next stitch, then knit 2 together, there we go. And then we do the passo, P-S-S-O. We're going to pass that slip stitch over. All right. Then yarn over and knit another 5. 1 and 2 3, 4, and 5. Alrighty. So to continue on with the repeat, I'm going to yarn over and slip the next stitch, then knit 2 together, then pass the slip stitch over, yarn over, and knit 5. One, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right, moving right along, footloose and fancy free. Yarn over, slip the next stitch, knit the next 2 together, pass the slip stitch over, yarn over, and knit 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We're so close, we're so close. Yarn over, slip 1, knit 2 together, pass the slip stitch over, yarn over, and knit the last 5 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. There we go. Alrighty, so then you would turn your work, and for row 12, just knit all of your stitches all the way across, and the repeat is rows 1 through 12 for the complete pattern. All right, and of course, you know I'm going to put timestamps, naturally. All right, and that is the whole pattern. Yeah. All right, so I did row 12 off camera just because I'm a bit of a completionist, and I really think this is quite a stunning stitch, don't you think? I love it. Now, of course, what you can quite conceivably do is at the bottom edge, you could do a couple of rows of garter stitch, which is just knit stitches back and forth, in order to give it a more finished look, or you could leave it like this. Either or, I think it is quite a stunner. And I'm so glad that I could share it with you guys, because I know that lace knitting can be very intimidating. I know, believe you me, it still freaks me out from time to time. But if you remember to breathe and be patient and to keep track of the number of stitches and make sure that at the end of every row that your stitch count is right, put in a lifeline if it makes you comfortable. Hey, whatever works, right? It doesn't have to be a scary thing. I really would like to encourage you to give it a try, because the results, as you can see, can be really quite beautiful, and it's worth sharing. All right, so with that being said, I really hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please give me a little thumbs up button down below because, as always, I appreciate your appreciation. We're in this together, you and I. And I would love to hear from you, what you think. And also, of course, if you haven't subscribed already, please do so, because I do try to post videos as often as I can, whether it's knitting, crocheting, audiobook narration, or please visit my other YouTube channel, Fiber Spider Games, link in the description box down below, where I do a lot of video game playthrough and commentary. It's a lot of fun and would love to see you there too. Yes. And so, until next time, my dears, I want all of you to stay inspired, stay caffeinated, and above all, stay stitching. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.